Hello everyone, this is Novo992 and today we're back for another brand new video, and today is the day that a lot of us have been screaming, have been craving and even demanding for. Is at 12 o'clock on the 24th of November, Rangers officially tweeted out confirming a statement that said that both Kevin Thelwell and Patrick Stewart have been removed from their position and are no longer at Rangers Football Club. That's right, the three heads of failure that has been this season has finally been removed. And I think that's where I'm going to start today's journey then, shall we? Because to sit here and say I'm delighted at this news would genuinely be an understatement for this football club. And again, that's important, right? Because nothing's ever personal to the people. You know me, you know what I mean? The people come and go within this club. What I care about most is this football club, and because it is about football, you know it's a results driven business, and when you aren't doing your job, when you're failing at every single criteria and not only making this team worse but wasting millions and millions of pounds whilst doing it, it's time to get your jaws, it's time to move on, and it's time to go ahead and join Russell Martin on the unemployment line. And that's what we've done here, ladies and gentlemen, right? I know there will be people out there saying, why did it not happen months ago? It should have happened months ago. It should have been sacked at the same time as Russell Martin. Yes, in a perfect world, we would have cleansed the deck, would have drained the swamp all at the same time, but we never, right? And yes, where that was frustrating, and that's carried me for the last couple months. Again, it is a massive boost to know that we've at least done it now before we get to January, before we waste more money, and before we take this club further back than what it's felt already, and with one transfer window. So yes, it's maybe not the perfect timing in terms of a couple months ago, but it was absolutely vital to get them out before January opened its doors and transfers started to happen. So in short, troops, I'm quite happy with the news, you know what I mean? It sits well with me, let's put it that way. But before we carry on with the rest of today's video, let's catch up with Rangers' statement regarding the news, how they've broke it down, who's currently in charge, and then we'll start to speculate, we'll start to break down who else could be moving on, because you know the damage that's been done off the park. We'll go through it, we'll touch on it, we'll try and cover every main talking point or question you could possibly have. But starting off with the old statement as we grab the old phone, it starts with this. Rangers Football Club confirms it has parted company with CEO Patrick Stewart and Sporting Director Kevin Thelwell. How they ever got the jobs is beyond me. Rangers express its sincere gratitude to both Patrick and Kevin. Do we? Do we, Rangers? For their leadership and unwavering commitment to the club. Never saw it. Chairman Andrew Kavanagh and Vice Chairman Prag Marathi have already begun the search process. Until permanent hires are made, Director Fraser Thornton will assume the role of acting CEO. End quote. And I think the first thing you'll notice right away, it is very short, it is very, very snappy, and it's very reminiscent of like Nottingham Forest stuff and some of the stuff that's been done previously in the past. Everton to Sean Dyche, ironically considering the circumstances we all find in. It's short and to the point, and to me, the way they've no went on, the way they've no made it a fluff piece and announcing everything they had done for the football club tells or leads me to believe they have been pushed, rather than everybody coming into the agreement that might be the media spin and say, listen, it's not working out, let's go. It sounds as if, to me, we've been short, we've been snappy, we've moved them on, because again, it's been a catastrophic failure. But again, regarding the actual football club, it's nice to hear Fraser will be taking over during the short term. Again, there's no too much worse he could possibly do, so good luck, Fraser. Just dinna sink the football club, and you'll be better than them too. There is still a lot of questions, because yes, where we've got rid of one Thelwell, there's of course still a Thelwell at Rangers Football Club. As remember, Kevin Thelwell during a short period at this time turned Ibrox and Rangers Football Club into a friends and family barbecue, because where Kevin has gone, his son's still currently in his position in terms of head of recruitment, meaning yes, he is in charge of everyone we bring in on scout or identify, whatever you want to go ahead and actual say. And that's left a lot of conversation and a lot of speculation out there. What on earth will happen with him now? Because we've just punted his da. How's the son going to react. And as I'm currently recording today's video, ladies and gentlemen, there's not been any confirmation that he's left his role or been removed from his role. What I imagine will be happening with not only him, but also the other couple questionable, very questionable hires that's happened during the previous reigns of the Witches of East and West, as I imagine they might remain in their roles for the next couple of weeks until a new director of football, until a new CEO is announced, and then I imagine they'll go ahead and evaluate everyone that's currently in the position and move on those that don't feel is qualified. Which I imagine when that ball starts to roll, and yes, they will see fuller people be removed from this football club, or better word it wise, replaced with maybe more qualified candidates, etc, etc. But again, I'm not sitting here saying that every single person they brought in needs to be sacked and needs to be booted out the football club, because truthfully I didn't believe that. You know what I mean? The likes of the academy director that we brought in a couple of weeks ago, that when the news first broke out, and he obviously had that previous connection and previously worked with Kevin Thelwell and everything like that during a brief period, everyone went mental, everyone went crazy, be like, he's hiring his pals again. But if you actually look into that laddie and look into his career, he's a well-regarded, well-respected coach. Then he became obviously in the academy side for his Wolves for all the years that he was there. I didn't mind those types of guys that's been brought in, that you can find the start, you've got the middle, and you've got the end on their journey to Rangers, and you can track it and you can see. Where I've had my problems is where we've seemingly just picked someone that's been struggling and is no well regarded, no talked up, and just absolutely plucked them out of nowhere and dropped them into roles that they've never managed or never been in before, because of that previous connection and understanding with Kevin Thelwell. It might be a fine line to some people, but if you're actually good at your job, I'm alright with you being here. If you aren't, that's when the problem comes. So again, for me, there's been a couple people that's been brought in that should remain in their position. But again, on the other side, there might be some people that will be removed when it all starts to go. I want to see the best for business criteria ticked. No, he's alright and he's my pal, which has been the criteria that's been ticked for a wee while. Which again for me is something we all need to keep our eye on over the next coming weeks, hopefully not months, you know what I mean? Hopefully it doesn't take us as long to replace the CEO as it did last time, because there is a very important January transfer window and there's a lot of stuff that needs to be ironed out and fixed within this football club. Good luck to whoever is willing to step into the cauldron that has absolutely been roasted with the failings of the previous people. And you know what, as we edge closer and closer to the end of the old video, hopefully I've addressed and answered at least some of your questions that's been fired my way since this news dropped and everyone exploded with so many conversation points. Is Thelwell's son getting sacked? What's happening with Dan Purdy? What about the rest of the Everton rejects, etc, etc? I guess we'll find out over the next coming weeks. The only other thing we really need to talk about is the timing of this sacking. Am I surprised that they've been sacked? And honestly no, because not only have they been absolutely horrendous at the job and they should have been sacked ages ago, I think about it more as they've tried to give them time, they've tried to give them chances, but if you're paying attention to what's actually happening on match days, did you see the financial reports that came out a couple of days ago, sorry, and a lot of those statements and a lot of the reports and everything were talking about how vital it is to have Ibrox full and how vital it is to have all this and the merchandise and everybody buying this, everybody buying that. Well, that's halted and slowed down, I should say, over the last couple of weeks and months, because people in and around the football club have started to look at some of these questionable hires and some of the shenanigans that's been going on and just hitting a pause button and being like, we didn't trust that, and that's been affecting the attendances. You know what I mean? You've had European games no selling out. When was the last time that ever happened? You know what I mean? They're still trying to punt European packages now. I know we're obviously near the boat, but we are bottom now and it's looking absolutely dark, but even before we were absolutely buried at the bottom. They were trying everything they could to sell tickets to everybody. You're looking at just the game at the weekend, Saturday, 3 PM, no being a sellout as well. I think it was damn clear that there was some impasse that was happening and people weren't accepting the nonsense that was currently being allowed to spread within the football club. And I think there has been a decision made that this is starting to go this way and this is starting to get worse. Let me pull the plug on what I thought was actually going to be a successful partnership, which again I imagine Andrew and Prague and everything thought they were going to be the best for business and be good at their jobs. But they've sank this football club. They've nearly sank this season, but thankfully we've pulled the plug now, and hopefully with right people in charge, starting it right in January, cleaning up the mess with the squad, maybe starting to identify beyond just English people and English Championship players that maybe, just maybe, will strengthen the club in the right way and get back steering in the right direction. So it's no surprise to me, ladies and gentlemen. I think the writing's been on the wall for a wee while, and I think if you've been paying attention, that's been clear. And all I can hope now, ladies and gentlemen, is now that the decision has been made to remove them and drain that swamp, that not only did they get the next appointment right, but again, everybody can just come back together now and get there, and we can start feeling a bit more unified, rather than, you need to do this, you need to protest this, you need to do that, you need to do that. Well, it's been done, the step has been made. Hopefully now everybody can come together and we can get back to hopefully seeing a successful Rangers team soon. That would be absolutely sensational. But that's me, done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. That's my thoughts and opinions. I couldn't be happier. Everything it should have happened months ago, but it's happened now. I'm buzzing with it. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section below. And until next time, which should be Wednesday now. In fact, I will be live on Heart in Hand and Four Lads. They're doing a podcast at 7 o'clock. I believe it's on Four Lads Had a Dreams channel tonight. If you want to go ahead and watch a live podcast, because we're going to be doing a show at Edmonton House as well. The tickets will be down in the description. It's going to be in the January the 9th. So if anybody wants to come, Mark Haley's going to be there. We're going to be hosting at Eddie House. You know what I mean? Way Mark Haley. It's a terrifying thing, so if any of you could be there, you know what I mean, show me support, that would be great. But again, I can understand if you can't. But there will be tickets down in the description below. We will also be live at 7 PM today just to talk about that and talk about this news. So you can maybe see too much of me. If no, you can wait for the videos, which I completely understand. Shout out the legends that are signed up. Now shout out to the channel legend members maybe again, as my camera did cut out there as I've been recording for longer than 30 minutes. But I'm pretty sure that's where it ended up. So thank you to everyone that is signed up to the channel membership. Shout out to those that are signed up to the supporter range as well. We greatly appreciate you. And every single person that's currently watching today's video that hits like and is joining us on this journey to hopefully reaching 70 freaking K, from me to thee, thank you. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. All the best and bye bye.